Thank you, Wonder. Thank you for being here. I just want to remind everyone.
Welcome to the Kindergarten Kids Assembly. All year you have been learning about creating a school community that cares about each other. You learn about cooperation, accountability, respect, and effort. Not only is it important to care about each other here at Pres, but it is also important to care about people all over the world, especially people that do not have all the wonderful things we have here. We would like to introduce Miss Mascaro to teach you about the people of Nepal and how all of us here at Pres can work together to help Nepal and show we care.
Girls, fantastic, and welcome to our assembly. First, I thought it would be appropriate to start off by greeting you the local way that they do in Nepal. And the way that they greet in Nepal is they put their palms together in front of their heart, they bow their head, and they say, Namaste. Namaste. Excellent. And Namaste means the light within me meets the light within you. So many of you have noticed that our wonderful kindergartners are dressed in traditional clothing. The boys are wearing hats that are similar to the hats that the men in Nepal wear in their villages. And the teachers and girls are wearing sarongs, also very similar to the dress that you find that the women wear in Nepal. So, to begin our assembly, as Mr. L told you, we remember that a good audience is quiet, keeps their hands to themselves, and keeps their ears open. And I think you're doing a fantastic job. Thank you for showing respectful behavior. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Mrs. Mascaro, and I'm here to talk to you along with the kindergartners today about a country that is very important to me. That country is Nepal. And Nepal is important to me, and it goes back for quite some time. When I was in 4th grade, my 4th grade teacher said to me, you can do a book report on any country in the world. And at that time, this is before we can go onto Google and search about different countries and find information. I went to something called an encyclopedia, and maybe many of you might not even know what that is. Right, so an encyclopedia is a big book, and it has information in it, similar to information that you would find on Google or a website like that. And in the back of that big book, there are pictures of all the flags of the world. And I was looking through all those flags, and they all looked the same to me. They were all rectangle. And then I came upon the flag of Nepal, and it jumped right off the page because it was the only flag that had an irregular shape. And you're going to see that in just a moment. It doesn't look like the flag that we have here in America. So that was interesting to me, and I said, I want to find more about this country. So, now you might be wondering, well, where is Nepal? I can tell you one thing, Nepal is very far away. It takes over 22 hours by plane to get there. So that means you eat breakfast on the plane, then maybe you watch a movie, have lunch, take a nap, eat dinner, fall asleep, and you're still on the plane, and you're not in Nepal yet, but the next morning you wake up and you're in Nepal. So it takes a very long time. And to give you a better idea of where it is exactly, I'm going to show this little video to you. Okay, so here's Nepal, and you see our globe. The globe is spinning. And if you spin the globe all the way to the other side of the world, there is the small country of Nepal, and it's sandwiched right in between two big countries. China is to the north, and India is to the south. So, this past March, when we were on our winter vacation, my dream came true. I got to go to Nepal. My husband and I got on an airplane. We took that very long flight, and we arrived in Nepal. And there is the flag I was talking about. It looks a little different, doesn't it? It has that irregular shape. And I was going to Nepal to learn about the people that are there, that are different from us, how they live differently, and also to learn about how they need help and what I can do to help them. So I thought it would be fun today for us to pretend that we're going to Nepal, and we're going to fasten our seatbelts, and we're going to pretend that we get on an airplane to Nepal, but I promise it's not going to be as long. We're just having you come in for landing. We're going to land in Nepal. Like the sound is working right now, but keep going anyway. Here's our plane. It's landing in the wonderful country of Nepal.
Long Easy 6 Delta Bravo, runway 7, land as the whole shoulder, runway 12, clear to land, traffic, big 2 jets departing. 6 Delta Bravo, roger.
Hey, so here we are. We've just landed in Nepal. And just like my husband and I were greeted, you too are greeted with warm welcomes of hello and many namaste.
Namaste. Namaste. Namaste.
Big bright smiles from children that are happy to see us visiting their country, and the majestic Himalayan mountain range. It really is a beautiful country. So, some facts about Nepal. Did you know that Nepal is home to the Bengal tiger and the one-horned rhino? It also is home to the largest mountain in the whole world, Mount Everest. You're right. And Mount Everest stands at 29,029 feet high. That's higher than some airplanes fly. It also has that irregular shaped flag, and the 2 points on that flag stand for those mighty Himalayan mountains. And as we learned before, the people there do not greet with a handshake like we do in our country. But they put their hands together and they say namaste. So here's another photo of what Nepal looks like from above in a plane. And one thing I can tell you for sure, Nepal was super colorful. It had every color. All my favorite bright, bold colors were there. Everywhere you looked, you saw more colors. And that's represented in the hats that the children are wearing today, and the sarongs that the girls are wearing. And then I saw things that are similar to America, like dogs, and bicycles, and motorcycles. But guess what? There were a lot of things that were different too, like goats standing on top of their roofs, and monkeys playing in their front yards. Boy, that's really different. Their homes look different. Their classrooms really did look very different. I noticed that they didn't have quite the same materials that we have in our classroom. They didn't have many materials at all, really. But they did learn the same way. They had pencils and papers. They're listening to their teachers, and they're learning a lesson just like we do. And their clothing is very different. On the left-hand side, you can see a local dressed in her sarong. And on the right-hand side is my husband and another friend who's dressed in clothes that look like the clothing that we wear here in America. Here's another example of how the people there look a little different and beautiful in their own way. Bright colors. And there's a man wearing that traditional hat that our kindergarten boys are wearing. And the woman wearing the sarong like the kindergarten girls and teachers are wearing. Their cities are really different. They look much older, and sometimes I saw areas that looked broken and damaged. And their jobs. Well, this man is selling food, and people in America sell food at a grocery store. Here, he's selling fruit off the back of his bicycle on the side of the road. Their school buses look different, and cows, it's so neat, cows roam freely on the roads. You gotta be careful that you don't hit one as you're driving by. And something that I saw again and again is that they work hard. The people work very hard, and they're very strong. They use their backs, their shoulders, their necks to help carry very heavy loads. And then I saw something that hit me. Some of the people didn't look happy. Some of the people looked sad. Very sad. Really very sad. And I recalled that back in April 2015, just over a year ago, Nepal suffered from a terrible earthquake. Now, for those of you that don't know, an earthquake is when the earth trembles, shakes, and if it's a very strong earthquake, like the one that happened in Nepal, the earth shook so much that a lot of the houses broke and got damaged. And you can see pictures. Those pictures were what I saw when I was there. And the people lost many of their basic needs, and some of these people didn't even have their basic needs before the earthquake. They didn't have things like water or shelter or food or even clothing. So you can imagine after the earthquake, they were really in bad shape. And I knew life in Nepal was certainly hard and much different than the lives that many of us here live. And I thought to myself, when the sun goes down and the moon comes out, life in Nepal many times is dark. And the reason why it's dark is because people there, many of them, do not have electricity. Now, why do we need electricity? Who can tell me? Why do we need electricity? So we can see, you're right. And when the sun goes down and it gets dark at night, what do we need to be able to do to see? Turn on the lights. Well, guess what? A lot of the people in Nepal don't even have lights to turn on. So it's dark at night. And because it's dark at night, once the sun goes down, they can't work on their handicrafts. And this is a picture of their pottery that they make. But if there's no light, they can't see what they're doing. And they certainly can't make their handicrafts. They won't be able to do their homework or learn because they can't see their papers. And that's when I realized, I'm part of this world. I'm able to make a difference. I just have to think what that difference could be. Just like all of you boys and girls. You have that in you. You can make a change in somebody else's life. Now the kindergarten.